be brutally honest about how much business is on the horizon. What I mean by that is, as business owners, we have a tendency to be optimistic. It's part of the job that we do. We have to be optimistic, otherwise when things get tough we'd slit our wrists. But I think there is a tendency to think when things start getting worse that something's going to come along. And for me, the litmus test is, if you have something, I call it the client X test. If you have something like client X, Y, or Z on your business plan, and client X being a piece of business that I don't know who they are, and I don't know where they're going to come from, and I don't know when they're going to happen, just something that is pie in the sky, get rid of it now. Staff really, really hate uncertainty. So with my first business, when the dot-com bubble burst, we decided to do things properly and hold a consultation process, because we were doing maybe 15 people. And midway through the consultation process, the guys came to us and just said, look, it's killing us. We know that people are going to go. Can you just tell us who they are so we can get on with it and make some plans? Because having 2 weeks of this is just awful. And what it meant was that during those 2 weeks, all of our staff were unsettled because everybody re-examined their job. So having that uncertainty, now I understand that, recruitment law means that we have to go through certain processes, but I think doing nothing to create uncertainty more than you need to is fundamentally important, because one of the characteristics of employees is that the good staff tend to be the ones that can go first, because they will find jobs elsewhere. So you lose your better people, and the ones that are often left behind are the ones that struggle to find a job because coincidentally they're not as good. So again, you get left with a lack of control around the people that you want to keep versus the ones that you're maybe less concerned with leaving when you do have to make those cuts. So it's better for get rid of the leavers, and then you can sit down with the stayers, the people who are saying, and you can say, okay, that's it, we're done. The people that have gone have gone. It's very sad that they've had to go, but that's it. There are no more cuts. Let's get back to work and let's focus on rebuilding the business, and this is what we're going to do. And it just gives people that certainty. Your people pay a disproportionate amount of interest and attention to your demeanor, and you may not realize this, but they do. When you walk into work, when you're behaving at work, I had an old business partner for me. When he was stressed, he'd be sitting in the corner of the office because he hated everyone, and he'd be banging on his keyboard going, oh my bloody hell, and the whole office would stop and they'd look over at him and they would be mortified with his behavior. And I'd just look at them and I'd just go, it's okay, it's fine. And people pay a disproportionate amount of interest. So what I do, doesn't matter whether I'm crying on the inside, I've had the worst day ever. I was walking up the stairs into work, and just before I stop, I take a breath and I walk through the door and I go, it's showtime. And I go, morning team, how's everybody? Everybody okay? And then I settle down to work and get on with it. And that's so important, because your team pay so much importance to you. So showtime, through a downturn, you've got to lead by example. And I'm not saying be bright and breezy and hysterically smiling like a lunatic, but just things are okay, it's under control, things are going to be all right. That's what people want to hear. Most people just want to go to work to do their job, and they want to know that things are okay. So tell them. If you've got a healthy, and I don't just mean a pipeline, but you've got a healthy profile in the wider industry, again, you're better able to take advantage of the opportunities that come up, rather than slugging it out with every other business that is bashing the phones and trying to get their 10 meaningful phone calls in every day. So don't be bland through or down. And again, it's very easy to cut your marketing spend during a downturn, because it's an obvious way of saving money. And very often the mistake a lot of companies make is they would rather save jobs and forego their marketing money. I would say every single time, get rid of a couple of people so you can maintain your marketing. It may cause you pain, but coming out of the other side, it will help you slingshot further out and more quickly. So don't be bland. Don't make the job harder than you need to for no good reason, and be distinctive. because it means that you will take advantage of coming out of the other side. Me saying be brave doesn't help. What I would say is, when you recognize that you're into a downturn, don't be brave. Give up 5% of your time to being brave, or to do things that are characteristics of being brave, i.e. look for opportunities or look for things that are not panic or are not to do with the downturn, but spend 5% of your time looking for things that might be opportunities. Companies in trouble, things that customers have said, if you're talking to your customers, if there's one thing that we could do for you between now and the end of the year, what would that be? Oh, that's interesting. If 3 customers say the same thing, you've got a product. 1 customer says it, you've got a sale. So, talk to your customers, but keep it. I call it eyes and ears. Just keep your eyes and ears open and build a bit of time. I'm very structured. I have a work list. It's there, but I keep copious notes. So keep it on your notes and keep 5 or 10% of your time for being brave.